This is Tessa Jeffers with PremierGuitar.com at Summer NAMM. I'm at the Vibrance Guitars booth with Todd and Craig, and it's their first Summer NAMM. How's it going your first year, Craig?
Excellent.
So you're actually the founder of Vibrance Guitars, right?
Yes, I am.
And how long have you been making guitars?
About 4 years.
4 years, and so this is your first time out here, and you're bringing how many guitars with you?
We have 17 with us today.
Wow. And you told me earlier that you're harvesting your own wood.
I harvest my own wood.
And what kinds of woods are you using on these guitars?
Primarily, what I can harvest locally will be American black walnut and maple, some cherry.
Okay, so you told me the backs of the guitars are all walnut and the tops are going to be...
The tops will vary from walnut to maple to imported hardwoods like wingy, padauk, babinga, canary wood.
So you're going out and sourcing that yourself?
I have to get that from a local supplier.
In Illinois?
Yes.
And so you're all making all custom models, correct?
Yes.
And so you have a few base bodies. Can you tell us a little bit about what you're offering?
I produce a single cut and a double cut design, all neck through. Some of them heavily chambered. Most of them now are semi-hollow body.
Can you describe a little bit about maybe what a walnut would sound like?
They sustain forever. They have sometimes maybe a little bit darker tone to them than say a maple neck or a mahogany neck. It's a quite a different take on guitar tone.
What do we got here? What kind of guitar is this?
This is a single cut canary wood, and it's the only canary wood that has been made so far. We wanted to see how it worked out as a tone wood, and it's doing...
The only Vibrance canary?
It's the only Vibrance canary wood that we have, yeah. And it's working out really well. It's unique from the others. It's tone-wise, it's a lot different. It's a little bit grittier. It's interesting. It's complex in the mids a little bit more than the others, and it's a lot of fun.
What does it feel like as a player? Like, is it heavy, regular?
No, it's very balanced. If I just let go of it like that, it balances itself fine. It's the same way standing. If I have a strap on and standing, it's the same. The neck is very comfortable. It's not super thin, but it's not a heavy chunky neck either. So it's probably a little bit on the thinner side.
What kind of fretboard wood?
Different variations of rosewood for most of them. We do have a couple that have a zebra wood for the fretboard, which is completely different. But most of the time we're using the rosewood. We got 2 or 3 varieties, and that's, yeah.
Okay, let's talk about hardware. What kind of pickups, strings?
Typically we're using DiMarzios right now. We've got several different models that we prefer. Depends on the top of the wood tops as far as which pickup gets used. So it takes a little bit of time to try to figure out the best balance. Strings, we're just using Elixirs. They last forever, and I prefer them personally because to me they feel slick. Yeah, and I'm kind of rough on strings, so it's nice to have them. Hardware just depends. Most of the time we're using a Schroeder or a hip shot. This particular one is a Goda, and it's a string through, which we only have 2 string through like this. The rest of them are going to be, like a stop tail piece. Or the electronics, basically we're using higher end, kind of expensive CTS pots. Tone caps, we're either using Lux Bumblebees or Jensen, like a copper or silver paper and oil type, and it's really nice. It just depends on how we want to steer it, it kind of depends on what the wood is. So, and
why did you choose this one to demo?
It's fun.
It's your personal favorite?
Yeah, it's one of them, definitely. It's hard to pick a favorite. It's like,
Are there any other guitars that you want to talk about? Well, maybe we should hear what this one sounds like first.
Sure, yeah, okay.
What's this plum-looking guitar?
That is Purple Heart, and that's the only Purple Heart that we have. And
It's pretty gorgeous.
yeah, and that's naturally that color. All of them. We've had a lot of people today ask us, what we tint with, or what we. One guy I think said paint with, which was kind of funny. And those are all actually natural. Craig hand oil rubs everything, so that
There's
is
no coloring in that wood.
there is absolutely no coloring.
It's called what? Purple Heart?
That's Purple Heart, yeah. And it's got a holly stripe down the middle, and you can tell in the pickup rings he actually took the time to put a holly stripe in the pickup rings to match. He went through, and on the back pickup covers, or the cavity control covers, they tend, if it has a stripe on the top, he'll match it on the back just because he can. And this actually has holly stripes running through it. Really hard to get holly in that kind of length, but it came through really well, and it's very striking, and goes good with everything. This is a good all-around tone. It's not as aggressive as some of the other ones, and it's not as defined, but it's a little bit more forgiving, we find. So it's, if you, it tends to like a little bit of grit and does good with high gain. So yeah, but it's a good all around.
Any bases for Vibrance?
Yeah, they're in the works. I'll leave it at that.
We are new. It's your first NAMM.
Yeah, he's there. Yeah, there's stuff going on behind the scenes, and I don't want to commit anything to him yet, but yeah, they're cool.
Congratulations on your first NAMM. It was great to speak with you, and thanks for spending your time and explaining everything.
Sure, thanks for your time. Thanks for stopping by.
This is Tessa Jeffers for PremierGuitar.com.